How to stay on target. We show you how, even when the odds are stacked against you. Most people don't lose progress all at once. They lose it slowly. One missed action, one delayed decision, a small compromise that feels harmless in the moment, and then another. They're drifting off target. Let's get back on track. But until we do, eventually, when they look up one day and they realise they're nowhere near where they said they wanted to be, they're off target. Not because they lacked potential, not because they lacked knowledge, but because they drifted. And that's the part nobody really talks about. You know, your New Year's resolution fails, nobody talks about it. You know what I'm saying. Starting something is exciting. Goals are exciting. New plans feel exciting. But staying on target, staying aligned with those goals, when life becomes difficult and barriers get put up in your way, now that is a completely different challenge. My name is Brian Dance. I've spent more than 30 years working in business, leadership, and high-performance environments. And one thing that I'd like to share with you is this. Success is rarely destroyed by one major mistake. More often, success disappears through small, repeated moments of drift that go unchecked for too long. People drifting off target. Let's get you back on target. Hello and welcome to The Long Way Forward. This is episode 35. And today I'm talking about self-control. Because once you've set a goal and built a plan, the real challenge becomes staying on course when distractions, resistance, and discomfort begin showing up. That's when we start to drift off target, people. Now, before we go any further, if this series is helping you think differently or giving you something practical that you can actually use, please take a moment to like, comment, or subscribe. It helps more people find this podcast and keeps these conversations moving forward, pun intended. Now let's get into it. Self-control is often misunderstood. People often think it means being rigid, strict, emotionless, perfect all the time. But real self-control is not about perfection. It's about alignment. It's the ability to keep moving toward what matters, staying on target even when it becomes uncomfortable, even when your motivation fades away and when you think nobody is watching and it doesn't matter. Staying on target. Here's a truth that most people already know deep down. I bet you do. I know I do. Let's find out what it is, shall we? You probably already know what you should be doing. That's not the issue. The issue is consistency. What are you really doing? Because resistance will always show up eventually. It'll show up as, I'll do it tomorrow. A little voice in your head, I'll do it tomorrow. This isn't urgent. I'll skip it just this once, it won't matter. And the dangerous thing about that is it sounds perfectly reasonable. And then I'll skip it just this once becomes twice and 3 times. And that's why drift is so hard to notice in real time. Getting off target is so hard to see because it rarely feels dramatic. It hardly feels anything at all. It feels small, but repeated over time, those small movements can completely change your direction. Now, quick pause. Think about the last time you drifted away from something important. A goal, a routine, or a commitment you might not have made to others, but one you made to yourself. Was it because you didn't know what to do? I don't think that's it at all. Or because you stopped consciously controlling the small decisions consistently. There's a few big words in there. You stopped doing what needed to be done and did something else. Now, if that's landing for you, please drop a comment, because recognizing drift is often the first step towards correcting it. What happened for you? What did you drift on? Me, it's chocolate. That's my weakness. Guilty. Now, enough about me. Let's talk about how to stay on course. The first thing is this: remove temptation. Put the phone down, turn the alerts off, block out your time, stay on target. Because if something is consistently distracting you, make it harder to access. If your goal is to give up drinking, tip out all the alcohol in the house. Don't have any. Now, if something repeatedly pulls you off track, reduce your exposure to it. This is systems thinking again. Make the right behavior easier. Make the wrong behavior harder. The second thing, stay emotionally connected to your goal. People lose discipline when they lose connection to why the goal mattered in the first place. If your goal is to give up drinking, that matters. Why? Could be your health. Your life could be on the line. Keep thinking that. Keep reminding yourself. Stay connected to the goal. Remind yourself, why did I start this? What was I trying to build? What am I trying to achieve? Because when the reason is strong enough and it's present at front of mind, the action becomes easier to sustain. Here's the third thing. Focus on the next step. If your goal is to give up drinking, focus on getting to the end of the day. Then focus on the next day. One step at a time, not the entire journey, because each step gets easier. One of the biggest causes of overwhelm is trying to carry the whole future in your head or your heart all at once. Don't carry the whole thing. Just carry the next step. That keeps your movement happening. And movement matters. The fourth thing, this is a struggle with some people, accept discomfort. This is important, so I'll say it again. Accept discomfort. A lot of people expect growth to feel good all the time. But growth or change is uncomfortable. Progress, which is also change, is uncomfortable. Leadership is sometimes uncomfortable because you've got to make some hard calls. And if you believe discomfort means something is wrong, that means you'll stop the moment things become difficult because they feel wrong. They're not. You've just got to think about why you're feeling discomfort and get past it. Now, there's more content like this over on LinkedIn as well, which is where I spend a bit of time. So if you enjoy these kinds of ideas around leadership, motivation and growth, feel free to connect with me there too. Here's something really important, by the way. Self-control is not about never drifting. Everybody drifts. The real difference is how quickly you return. You pick up the drift. You know you're drifting. You bring yourself back around to target, back onto course. A good example will be people in meetings. When the conversation drifts away from the topic, a high performer will say, right, let's bring us back onto the target. Let's bring us back onto the topic, people. What are we here to achieve? And they get things moving forward again. High performers return to that direction faster. They don't wait until they feel ready again. They don't disappear for 6 months waiting for motivation to magically come back. They recognize the drift and they correct it early. That's what self-control means in the context of this conversation. And you can see it. You can see that self-control everywhere. You can see it in fitness. You miss one workout. Do you quit or do you return tomorrow? Business, you miss a target. Do you disengage or do you adjust your approach and keep moving? Career, you made a mistake. Do you avoid responsibility, hide from it, or do you learn from it and improve? That's what self-control actually looks like in the real world. Not perfection, because there is no such thing as perfection. Correction, direction, and consistency over time. Getting back on target, getting that ship back onto course and heading to the right destination, slowly but surely. Consistency over time. Now let's close this out. We know that goals create direction. We know that plans create structure, but self-control is what keeps you moving when things stop feeling easy. And that's where real progress is built. Not in the exciting moments, but in the difficult ones. Now, if this episode gave you something useful, something practical that you can apply immediately, please take a moment to like, subscribe, or share the episode, because the right idea applied at the right time can genuinely change the direction of someone's life. Trust me, I've seen it over and over again. It's awesome, and I want to share it with you. This is the long way forward. Thank you for being here, and hopefully I'll see you in the next episode.